Yeah, we first easily tackle the issue of food waste. We must implement a meal planning system. This system would not only aid in ensuring that only necessary ingredients are needed, but also to foster a more mindful approach to grocery shopping. By encouraging individuals to plan their meals in advance, we can minimize the likelihood of excess food being bought and ultimately wasted. For promoting composting practices or organic waste such as vegetable peels or leftovers present an eco-friendly solution to reducing landfill contributions. Like for example, the seed you use in calamansi. Calamansi, when you squeeze it, there's some little bit of seeds that will come out when you squeeze it. You can use that seed to plant other more calamansi, and not only you save money, but you also save Mother Earth. Composting not only diverts waste from landfills, but also produces nutrient-rich soils that can be used to support local agriculture and gardening initiatives. Through education and outreach programs, we can empower community members to embrace composting as a sustainable waste management. Furthermore, promoting practices for organic waste such as vegetable peels and leftovers present an eco-friendly solution to reducing landfill contributions. Composting not only diverts waste from landfills, but also produces nutrient-rich soils that can be used to support local agriculture and gardening initiatives. Through education and outreach community members to embrace composting as a sustainable waste management practice. When we stick to our meal plan, it's like we're giving ourselves a roadmap for what we eat, making sure that we only buy what we need and actually enjoy. For me, it's a big win because I'm not a fan of eating leftovers. So having less of them around means happier meals for me. And then there's the magic of turning those leftover vegetables into something beautiful. Growing ourselves a little garden or little own veggies. It's like a little gardening adventure right now in our backyard. Just like how I managed to grow calamansi from scraps. Not only it cuts down on waste, but there's something deeply satisfying about seeing those tiny seeds sprout into something really beautiful and to eat. You know, making changes to my food intake wasn't exactly a walk in the park. I'm a food lover, though, through and through. So having to adjust what I eat was definitely a very difficult challenge. There were days when all I wanted was to indulge in my favorite dishes, but I had to remind myself of the bigger picture, like how I'm trying to reduce waste and live a more sustainable lifestyle. It took some real willpower and self-discipline. However, I knew it was worth in the long run. And let's not forget about the sheer effort and planning that goes into all of this. Some days I'm just so tired of school. I'm tired of everything that adding those meal planning and composting into mix feels one more thing on my never-ending to-do list. It can be exhausting, to say the least. But then I remember why I started this path in the first place. To make a positive impact, to create a better world for the future generations. And suddenly, the extra effort doesn't seem to be daunting anymore. But perhaps the biggest hurdle of all is breaking free from the societal norms and habits that are deeply ingrained in consumer culture. It's like swimming against the current, constantly pushing against a tide of overconsumption and wastefulness that surrounds us. And let me tell you, it's not easy. It takes continuous education, advocacy, and a whole lot of patience to inspire change in behavior and mindset, not just in myself, but among my peers, and the wider community too. But every small step forward, every conversation had, every mind open, it's all worth it. In the end, knowing that together, we're making a difference, one day at a time.
Hello and good afternoon everyone. I am Gino Tiro Sabia from 9SB, here presenting my part in the Science PT, utility waste, and how we can manage to have waste minimization and have a carbon-free lifestyle. So, my practices or strategies that I would suggest to reduce waste and my carbon footprint in dealing with utility waste of water and electricity is to encourage the use of alternative energy sources such as wind and solar power. We can also promote the use of lighting and appliances that use less energy, or to maximize the use of electricity by using smart energy management systems into place. But we can do something much easier, like teaching workers and students how to save energy, like disconnecting electronics and switching off lights when not in use. For water waste, we can install water-efficient appliances like shower heads and faucets with modest flows. Use rainwater collection systems to use less water outside. And again, for something that is easy to do, teaching workers and students water-saving techniques like turning off faucets or showers if not in use, and quickly repairing leaks. One of my success stories in waste minimization and carbon-free lifestyle is using rainwater. We actually have pipes on the top of our roofs so that when it rains, the water will go down the pipes, which then will go to a big pail that collects all the water, which then we place them in bottles and keep them somewhere safe. After that, we boil the rainwater, then place it in a thermos. We use the rainwater for making hot drinks from sachets of powder, such as coffee and milk. We also have our own well collected from rainwater. For electricity, I have saved electricity by unplugging appliances and turning off lights that were not in use, and using solar equipments. Doing this can really save money and use less electricity, which comes from power plants. Doing this every day can really make our carbon-free lifestyle happen and to minimize a lot of waste. The challenges that I have in leading a carbon-free lifestyle and minimizing waste is myself, wasting electricity and water while still practicing my waste minimization and carbon-free lifestyle, and my time management on doing this all. I'm still trying to overcome my habits of using excessive energy and water, which can be challenging, especially in environments where resources are perceived as abundant. But I can still try and become a better person than I am now. Since I have a lot of problems and things to do, I have less time remembering about my practices. So it would be hard to balance all of it at once. But with a lot of getting used to, I can manage completely. Though it would be hard maintaining ongoing education and awareness efforts to sustain behavior change and ensure continued adherence to waste minimization and carbon reduction practices.
When going shopping, bring reusable bags instead of plastic ones in order to help reduce waste and pollution and support local farmers and producers to reduce the carbon emissions associated with transporting goods long distances. Local products also often come with less packaging. So, extend the life of your belongings by repairing them when possible, or repurposing them for new uses instead of immediately discarding them. One of the instances where I helped in, or rather partaken in, saving the environment with the use of reusing items was when, as we may know, palengkes are filled with plastic bags, which are of course bad for the environment. One time, I used a plastic bag, which is not good. My grandmother, who I was with, discouraged me to do so, and instead used an eco bag in order to gather the items that we would purchase from the palengke. That day, I learned that plastic bags are definitely not as healthy for the environment, like as much as the eco bags. Eco bags are just a lot more reliable and break less easily and are definitely friendly for the environment. Now, a certain problem that we would certainly face while using the method that I have recommended, which is repairing things as much as possible, is the actual expenses and resources to repair such object. It's very tempting to use cheaper and plastic products because it's a lot more reliable and just overall easier to manage. However, what I could recommend is just only repair the products that, of course, only cost you the least amount of resources and least amount of expenses. Now, doing such would help, of course, solve that problem. But, of course, it would also take a lot of dedication. Now, doing this together can save our planet, and together, we can make the world a better place.
We can minimize electricity and water waste.
By reducing food waste,
Saving shopping waste.
we can make a carbon-free lifestyle and minimize a lot of ways to save our planet Earth.